What up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So, I don't really do movie reviews anymore. I kind of went away from it. I wasn't enjoying it when I was doing it, but, but, this one, I gotta talk my mind on this one. Gotta talk my mind on this one, cause Avengers Endgame. I gotta say. I put out a tweet after watching it because we got it released today here in New Zealand, and it was like 10 a.m. when I went to see it. And I had to take a couple hours just to just let the emotions sort of calm down. I put out a tweet after watching it saying it makes it worth being an MCU fan for over 10 years, for over a decade. It does. It does. Endgame caps it all off. It caps it all off. It really does. So I'm going to try and make this sort of review, my opinions on it, spoiler free as possible. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. For anyone. Because I want you guys to go watch it. I want you guys to go and watch it. Yeah, a majority of you will. Majority of you will. If you're on the fence about it, hopefully I can convince you. Hopefully I can convince you on this. So yeah, don't worry about spoilers. I'm gonna probably do a spoilers video probably in a couple of days, just so people can watch it and they don't have to worry about like getting, spoiled on it or something like that. Let a few people see it, especially because like it takes a little while for everyone to, sort of for it to come out in every country and stuff like that. So I definitely want to give it a couple of days. I'm gonna see it multiple times in a couple of days. So I'll be able to seal the little pieces a little bit more, and we can really get into the nitty-gritty parts in that sense. But this one, completely spoiler-free. Don't worry about it. This is just my general opinions on it and like what I thought in quite broad strokes. Okay, so don't worry about spoilers in this one. So, like I said, this capped the Infinity Saga completely off. Like, it really did. It was the conclusion to Infinity War. It starts off pretty much right after it, maybe a couple of weeks or so, if I remember correctly. A lot happens in this film. A lot happens in this film. So at the start of the film, like it feels like a millennia ago. It's just so much happens. 3 hours of just an emotional train going along. It really is. As an MCU fan, it really is. It is just what they do in this. It gives everyone their moment. It gives everyone, especially the ones that are leaving. I won't say who. We do know for sure that Chris Evans is not doing any more Marvel films. Like, this is it for him for Captain America. At least on a big scale. I don't know. They may do like a cameo thing every so often, maybe, but we're not sure on that. But this is it for him. They give them all their moments, and it takes. Now, it probably affects me more because I have watched every single one. I actually went back over the past sort of 4 or 5 days and watched all of them, in order, and like a chronological order. I was like, I wonder if that's going to change anything. Yeah, it put everything in a little bit more of an order because, with Captain America being the first one and stuff. And luckily I'd seen Captain Marvel reasonably, not too long ago and stuff, so it kind of all worked out. But it makes that time, that commitment that you made to watching these films completely worth it. It really does. Like, all of those culminate into this. It gives everyone that ending that they needed, which is really, really cool. Now, on opposite of that, there are a lot of people that need to have like some screen time, some things. So obviously people, like with all Avengers films, the main ones get majority, and then everyone else kind of gets steadily some as they go along, depending on how big a character they are and stuff like that. Are there some that I think probably deserve maybe a little bit more? Yeah, I would have liked to seen it a little bit more. I won't say who or what, because it's a little bit spoilery in places. But I think the ones that really needed it got it, and that was good. But I think there are some that I kind of would have liked to have a little bit more. But there just wasn't enough time. This just wasn't enough time in this film. It's a 3-hour film. We couldn't go any longer. I wouldn't even cared if it went longer. And that's the thing too, is this film, it didn't feel like it had too many lulls. There wasn't any like okay, we're spinning our wheels now. We need to get going. From the get go onwards, everything was building to something. Everything was building, and it ultimately finishes in the climax at the end with just an unbelievable final battle. It's insane. I won't even discuss what happens in it. It is, it's worthy of being the finish to the Infinity Saga. Let's just say that. For me personally, just what happens there. It does a damn good job of that. So, with all that, so like I said, with so many people needing some screen time, obviously some had to take a step back. And I will say it's probably more the new ones had to take a step back. But I think that's for good reason. That's to allow the originals at the moment to have their time. And then as they move on, the new ones are going to get their time now. They're going to be the ones to hold up this Marvel universe, this thing, and be the new Avengers moving forward, which will be interesting to see. That's going to be the thing to see with Marvel now, is now that the original mission is done with the Infinity Saga, where we go next. That's going to be the interesting thing. So like I said, a lot of characters that you'll see as that go throughout the film. They do a fantastic job with that. The overall story itself, like I said, this is a 3-hour film, so it's got to hold your attention the entire way. I did not lose focus at all. I was completely, bought in on what I was watching. Didn't pull me out in any sense. There were funny moments. There were, serious moments. I do feel sometimes Marvel doesn't take things seriously when they needed to. This one had a perfect balance. I felt like when it needed some laughs, it had some laughs. When it didn't need some laughs, it kept it serious. And I thought it was a really good balance. I think, this is kind of what we expect from the Russo brothers now. Like, it's definitely what we expect from the Russo brothers with, for me personally, their 4 movies, I think it's 4 they have, are my top 4 of the MCU. It really is. They just do such a good job. I mean, it does help that they get like the top quality stories and stuff to do, like the top events of the Marvel universe to do. But it was definitely something to behold in that sense. But it's definitely something that you expect from them now. So yeah, I didn't feel like it was spinning its wheels in any sense. Everything, like, as it started unfolding, it all comes together. I don't feel like there's any loose ends really too much. I felt like they wrapped most of it up, especially the ones that aren't continuing. Like, obviously there will be ones that just flow on to the next part, into phase 4 and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely felt good. Definitely was fun to watch. Didn't lose my interest one bit. I will say that, like, I am an MCU fan. Like, I'm a Marvel fan. I'm a superhero fan. Comic books, all that stuff. Like, this is my jam. And I will say that you will get more out of this film if you've watched all the others. It's pure and simple. Like, if you took the time to watch all the others, you will get more out of this film because you know the characters more. You're more connected with these characters. If you are someone who hasn't, like, I think this is a great movie anyway. It probably won't hit you as much as what it does for people that have. But yeah, I still think it's a great movie, and it's worth just going to watch out of pure entertainment purposes, just by the sheer amount of budget behind this thing, the sheer amount of work that's gone into this thing. I will say, like, if you have not watched any other MCU and you want to kind of go to this, watch Infinity War first. At least watch Infinity War first so you understand what's happening at the start. That's really what you have to do. This is a 2-part film. You really kind of have to watch Infinity War if you don't want to watch the others. Just watch that, and then you can probably go and watch this. But it is definitely a film that rewards people that have gone to see the others, and rewards those fans that have built up over 10 years. It definitely is that. But I think it is somewhat new friendly. I think you just got to go and probably have to see Infinity War first. That's all I'll say. As a warning to that for anyone who has not watched a Marvel film and wants to go and see this. Obviously the CGI stuff, it's what we expect from Marvel now. It's got that Marvel polish. It's got that Avenger polish. It's even more than some other Marvel films that have lower budgets. I mean, this one's probably got the most budget out of all of them. It is top notch all the way through. I mean, you look at the Iron Man suits and stuff and what they do there. I will say the Iron Man suit in this one I like a lot better than I liked the one in Infinity War. I was not about that one in Infinity War. The whole sort of, it was kind of circular, sort of like, it didn't feel like a suit of armor to me. It was like a mesh of nanobot stuff on him, and it just didn't sit well with me, that one. Like, I'm probably like, I like the original armors. Like, I like the Mark II, Mark III Iron Man suits from the first Iron Man movie back like 11 years ago now, pretty much. It is, that started it all. Like those suits are still my favorite. I just like the armor plating. I like that a little bit much, and they did a little bit more in this one with that, which I was quite glad. It still has that nanotech stuff, so stuff still morphs out of the suit, but it's a little bit nicer looking when it's just normal, which is cool. So yeah, looks wise, everything fantastic, what you'd expect out of a high-end Marvel film. Soundtrack wise, it's the themes that you expect out of an Avengers film. They carry those same themes all the way through. Obviously, it's the legendary Avengers theme. Where they use it is spot on. Like when the music peaks is like right at that perfect moment, and it just added to that cinematic experience. And I'll tell you, the cinema that I was in that was packed. Certain moments happen, people just cheered, and they got so hyped, and they were cheering, and all the rest of it. It was so good, and it had so much good feels in the cinema that it was fantastic. And the music helped that. It got you hyped, and you wanted to cheer. You wanted to cheer them on and stuff like that. And that was a good thing. So I think the Avengers theme plays to that, and makes things very epic and stuff. So yeah, the soundtrack and stuff, spot on. Can't really complain about that. Fight scenes and stuff, probably some of the best we've ever seen. Honestly, some of the best you've ever seen. I can't go into details because there's spoiler stuff in there, stuff that you will not want me to tell you if you want to go see this film. So it is awesome. It is awesome. So like, I can't talk about that. I really can't. The fight scenes and stuff. But they're damn good. They're so good. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. It's tough. It's tough, man, to really talk about this film without spoiling stuff. I can just say how much I like this film. I mean, in the rankings of the MCU, like, where do I put this? So for me, like, my number one right now, because I actually went through and ranked my the MCU films, like where I put them, the rest of it. I have Infinity War number one. I do. I loved Infinity War. The weight of that film, of what it had to do and what it lived up to, was spot on. The feeling you got from it, the helplessness, the sheer just what the hell do? We just lost. Half the people in the world are gone. Half the people in the universe are gone. You know, half the people in the world are gone. Half the people in the universe are gone. Half our friends are gone. Probably even more than half. It is, yeah. It's just, it had something so special. And then this one, on top of it, feeds off of that. And then is the culmination of everything put together and finishes off the Infinity Saga. So this one, I mean, it's early on, and I've only seen it once, and I'm coming off of watching it from the movies and stuff, so that always can get a little, it can jar some stuff a little bit, but from just the sheer, just the what this film represents for the MCU, it's got to be my number one. The enjoyment I had of it, the emotions it brings out, the how it makes you feel like it was so much worth watching all those films and stuff. You know, it's like 20-something films, so it's got to come in. The last one for this saga has to make it worth it. It's like watching a TV series. The season finale, because this is basically what it is. This has been a 10-year TV series in a way. The season finale has to hit you hard, and it does. And they do a great job of it. So, yeah. This one's my number one. This one's my number one, for sure. For sure. It does so many good things that I love. That it was so good. Is it perfect? I don't think any movie can be perfect. I don't. I think you can always find something that you don't like. Like I said, because of the sheer amount of people in this, like, to get enough people and enough screen time, and, you know, some people are gonna lose out. I would like to see a couple of people get a little bit more. I mean, this is probably as max amount, like, time of movie can be now. You can't really go any more than 3 hours. It's not allowed. I think. So you couldn't do any more. You couldn't do any more. Yeah, there, like, maybe a few little details that I may have liked to have seen. But this is, yeah, like I said, my top MCU film. At least at the moment. Like, I'm going to go watch this, like, 2-3 more times. Just with friends and with family that couldn't go and see it. They can only see it at different times. So, I don't mind. I really don't mind. I want to see this as much as I can. I recommend you going out and seeing it. I really do. If you got any inkling of, like, being interested in MCU stuff, like I said, if you have not seen an MCU film, I do recommend you watch Infinity War, just so you get, like, the idea of where everyone is, why everyone's doing what they're doing and stuff like that. This one is basically like a part 2. So this is like 2 movies that were separated by a year. Well, basically one movie separated by a year, in a way. So I recommend you watching Infinity War if you have not watched any of the others. But if you have any inkling in watching this, go and see it. Go and see it. Like, even if you're interested in, like, just the MCU TV series and stuff, there's some stuff in there for you. There is some stuff in there. Seriously, there is. So yeah, I recommend that. God is good. God is good. Alright guys, it's going to be it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you are new here, have a look around the channel. We're mainly a gaming sort of channel here. I do a lot of sort of, I watch gaming trailers. We talk about it, you know, stuff that I'm interested in. I do a couple of little playthrough stuff. Been doing stuff for Final Fantasy 14. Lately, it's just been the game that I've been playing a ton. And they've had a lot of new stuff coming out for it. So if you are into that, have a look around. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. We are a growing channel, and every sub is amazing to see. It's awesome to see the sub count continuing to go up. Thank you guys, seriously. I appreciate every one of you. Welcome to all the new people. Thank you to all the guys that have been here for so long. I appreciate it, and putting up for my being here and not being here and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys' commitment. I really do. Thank you very much. Like I said, I will be doing a spoilers video later on, like probably in a couple of days. Just let some people see it. Let me see it a couple more times, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it all and stuff, and the small stuff, and really trying to pick apart some things, and then kind of where it's all gonna go. Like, where do we think it's all gonna go and stuff. And I might even like say like my rankings for my final rankings for the Infinity Saga, like just my final ones, just where I rank them all and stuff. And yeah, alrighty guys, I'll catch you later. Peace. Bye.